guys, welcome back. Today's topic is intermittent fasting, also known as IF. Before I get into my experience with it, I just want to say that I have partnered with this app that's great for tracking, and it's called FASTIC. So you can find it in the App Store, and if you want to get the pro version, which is the one that I'm using and what I'm going to talk about in this video, you can save 50% off of 3 months with my code amber50. So let's get into it. First of all, I'm not a doctor by any means, and I recommend that everybody do what works for them and do their research. I personally believe that anything over 12 hours is going to be beneficial. So, the app can really walk you through whether you want to, you can set your goals if you want to do a 12-hour fast, a 14-hour fast, or a 16-hour fast. And you'll see a lot of times it'll be like 16-8. And what that means is a 16-hour fast and an 8-hour window of eating. The thing is, we're supposed to be sleeping hopefully 8 hours a night. That's part of that fasting window. So if this is totally new to you, an app can help, but you can also do research, and you can always start small. You don't have to go balls to the wall. I aim for 12 to 14 hours fasting. Sometimes I go longer, and I have seen great results. One of the benefits of fasting can be fat burn and weight loss. A lot of times you're gonna see weight loss just naturally because you're eating in a calorie deficit. So if you're eating in a smaller window of time, you're going to be eating maybe less calories, especially if you start your day really early and then you eat throughout the day all day. If you're someone like I was doing, so I'm like, single mom, I work out of the home, I work from home, I have a bunch of businesses. I try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, but I definitely start my days early. And so if I were to start eating at like 6 a.m. and then eat until 9 or 10 p.m., you could see that that would just maybe be more calories over that span of time. So whether or not you start with a 12-hour fast or 14-hour fast, or if you go for the 16-hour fast, I just want you to definitely make sure that you are eating enough calories within that time frame and making sure that you're prioritizing whole foods, because the last thing I ever want someone to do when they get into IF is to restrict their calories, maybe even unintentionally, by going too long and then maybe not eating a big enough meal and then being like, oops, my cutoff started, I can't have dinner now. So one way that I make sure that I'm getting enough calories in is that I follow the portion fix, which is part of the meal plan that I've been following forever. And it just helps me make sure that I'm getting in enough macros, enough fruits and veggies, all that stuff within a calorie goal. And so I just use that and apply it to fasting. So I just make sure that I get, all of my meals in within that time period. It does take planning. It does take thinking these things through, because I find that the days that I have not prepared, it's definitely a lot harder to eat within my window. So, you might have some trial and error. It definitely helps to have an app like FASTIC to kind of guide you along the way. And if you go download the app, make sure that you add me as a buddy so we can help encourage each other. My experience with fasting is right now I'm on a 14-10 split, which means that I fast for 14 hours and then I eat for 10 hours. I like this because I typically wake up around 6 or 7, get my workout done. I do a fasted workout. I feel fine. Maybe the first week I tried it, I felt a little hungry, but nothing too crazy. I do coffee. Sometimes I will do my Energize, which is a pre-workout, and technically that's called dirty fasting or breaking your fast, but it's only 15 calories. So I'm okay with that. But again, some people would say that that's breaking the rules. And I usually eat my first meal around 11 or 12, and then I eat a big meal, hopefully around 2, and then a snack around 4 or 5, and then dinner is anywhere between 7 and 9. The nights that I go to jiu-jitsu, I don't want to eat a lot before I go because my stomach gets super full, and I don't like that feeling of like rolling around and stuff on a full stomach. And so I'll eat my dinner later those nights. The minimum for me is always 12 hours of fasting, and then anything from there is a bonus. I started doing this a little bit more seriously last summer. I tried different apps. I've never really stuck with one, but I'm really enjoying the FASTIC app so far. I started in July, and I definitely noticed that I leaned out. I felt less like I was mindlessly snacking, because sometimes at the end of the day, after the kids have gone to bed and I just finally get to decompress and watch TV, I'm very used to having something to snack on. And so having that conscious decision, like, no, I'm not eating anymore, the fast has started, definitely helps me not eat mindlessly. And if you're, someone that's like, no, I'm legitimately hungry, I think it's important to listen to your body cues. But for me personally, it's often just needing something to do with my mouth and hands, or needing just some type of like emotional fulfillment. And sometimes it's not even about the food, it's about the act of snacking. So I think that the fasting kind of helps me with that. My whole thing with this is, try what works for you, but be consistent. Whatever nutrition plan you're embarking on, whatever goals you're embarking on, whatever your fitness goals are, set a plan, by getting a coach, getting an app, going all in, and then stick with it, because there's going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be times where you think it's not working, you think it is working. You're going to have those wins, you're going to have those setbacks, and any kind of setback that you go through is honestly just data to help you, course correct and figure out how to move forward. So on a day that I didn't prepare very well, I learned from that day, okay, I did not stick within the window like I wanted. I didn't eat enough whole foods that day. Where can I improve? There's scientific data that also supports that it helps with inflammation. It can help regulate blood sugar levels, which can then in turn help lower chances of diabetes. It helps with cellular repair. It can actually help stimulate the growth hormone, which helps you build muscle. Again, you want to make sure you're eating enough. So there's a lot of cool things. And what I like about the FASTIC app is also that I can set daily challenges. So like one of mine is I want to do emotional freedom technique tapping. So that's like a personal thing. So I set a reminder in there. I want to try one new recipe every single week. So I set a reminder in there. But you can also learn more about fasting and all the science behind it within the app. I wanted to show you guys my app and what it's set up for. So I've just been consistently using it. I've had it for a couple weeks, but I haven't been like consistent. So I've just been consistent the last few days, and I'm really liking it. And I'm gonna show you guys right now. Pulling up the app here, we are in my eating window still. I also like that you can link your health app to get your steps. I track my water in here. I track my weight. We're down 2.4 pounds. Woohoo! And this is where you can also read more about fasting, learn about the science of different foods, and set your individual goals like tapping. So if you guys have experience with intermittent fasting, I would love to hear your takeaways, what you think about it. I'm definitely still consider myself more new to this, and definitely not an expert by any means. I'm just always pro, like, are you eating enough? Are you eating enough phytonutrients and greens and whole foods? Because it gets a little tricky sometimes when people focus on just the weight loss aspect. Weight loss will come if we're eating to nourish our bodies. I think IF can just give us a little bit more control where we may need it. Hopefully I see you guys on the FASTIC app, and don't forget to use my code to save money. All right, see you guys next week. Bye.